Welcome back to the channel, my Viking family. How are you doing? Welcome back to the channel. And we're going to go and do a bit of pillaging today. Yes, we're going to take you through and explain how the new mode in Assassin's Creed River Raids works. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll also show you where the first two St. George clue maps are for the first two raids. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, consider hitting that red button and hitting the notification bell, and because we have a heap of Assassin's Creed Valhalla guides coming. Up to you, you can do it or not. Like rating's always appreciated, guys. And without further ado, let's do some pillaging. Let's do it! Oh, welcome back to the channel. We're going to talk about river raids today. So we can see Eivor is here in Ravensthorpe, and you can see where the long house is, and we've got a new wee building here. And this is how you start your river raids. We'll explain it as we go. So when you first come down here, there will only be a little dock here. And you need to go and talk to this guy here.
Up for some raiding?
Vag. And when you first come in here, he will go through a whole lot of little dialect explaining about river raids. And you'll take his crew for the first one. And then for the next raids after that, you're going to be taking your own crew, and we'll talk about your crew in a second. So as you can see, I haven't got very far with this. I've done the river EXE, and I've got the river 7 ready to go. So we're going to talk about the river XE today, and we'll explain a whole lot of bits and pieces as we go through it. So essentially how this works is you pick a raid that you want to go on, and then you have all these Vikings that you've recruited to add to your crew. Now the last raid I did, I lost a couple, so that's okay. I've recruited a few new ones, so we'll pick this guy here, and who else are we going to have? So this is actually a player's Yoms Viking. This is a Ubisoft one, so we'll have him instead. So you have to keep coming in and out of this for some reason. But anyway, eventually you'll get a full crew. You can see this guy is at level 2. The rest are all at level 1. And then when you're ready, you start a raid. Now, to get Yoms Vikings, if you run out, because like I said, I killed. When you come back from the first raid, upgrade this, which is your hull, and this will automatically generate recruits in here. And generally, you have 3 at a time.
Let us sweat together, bleed together, triumph together.
You're going to get lots and lots and lots of money on these raids, so don't worry about recruiting these guys, because you're going to make the money back. And don't worry about them dying during the missions, because yeah, you can just buy new ones, so it's not a major drama.
Up for some raiding?
As far as Vag not goes, you can do a few things. So there you can go raiding, so that's how you start your missions. You can customize your ship, and it gives you some default stuff. I've already went through and done that. Quite nice that it actually shows you what the ship looks like as you select things. You can then buy things for your ship with the loot that you get during the raids, and you can also buy some Yoms Viking tattoos. So quite nice. And yeah, let's get into our raid, and I'll explain a little bit as we go. Actually, with the river raids, what you're looking for is 2 things. We are looking for a map fragment, and I'll show you where to find that in the first one. So a St. George clue, as it says there, And the second thing you're looking for is 2 pieces of gear or weapons. So now that's going to vary from region to region, but essentially it generally is two pieces of gear of some kind, or weapons, or both. So you can see I've got a couple of the St. George outfit already, the bracers and the cloak. I've got one in the 7 and one in Exa, and yeah, I still need to complete some of that quest on both of those maps to complete this. And yeah, some of the footage you're going to see, I'll show you where to get the map, and we possibly might pick up some gear, but I will tell you where to get the gear, or generally where to look. So you're going to go through, once you start a raid, you're going to go through a whole sequence of cutscenes, and eventually you're going to get to this point, and we're actually in the River Severn here, I think. And basically the world map's going to look a bit like that. So there's a number of places to raid, and there's a number of places that I've already raided here. So essentially all you do is rock up to the raid places and start start raiding and looting and doing whatever you need to do. Now understand that once you've raided a place, that's going to be the symbol that you're going to get. And if you haven't completed one now, completing means that you have to get all the loot that's available in the settlement to complete the actual raid on the settlement. You do have a limit to how much loot you can grab, and so if you don't manage to grab it in the first raid, then that will be open to you in the next one. You can have the sail up or down, like that. I always say it makes it quicker. And then once you get to the location, you'll get that raid symbol and off you go. Let's terrorize the locals. So essentially what's going to happen is eventually you're going to find these boxes. You're going to need a hand to open them because they're big. And the more raids you do, the higher your level's going to get. So a couple of tips for you very early in the game, a couple of strategy tips. Loot absolutely everything you can. And basically the big thing you're looking for at the start of every raid is as much food as you can, because you start very low on health kits, so you want to pick up as much food as you can, but loot absolutely everything. There will be some areas that will be more difficult to get into than others, but we'll show you that in a second. But essentially you're going to pick up all kinds of stuff, mostly silver, but you know, all kinds of stuff. Old pillows, broken arrows and bows, all kinds of stuff. Just take it all. You can sell it later, doesn't matter. So essentially once you're finished raiding the settlement, and do take your time to look around, the axes, the red axes will disappear off the map like that. So it's time to get back to the ship and yeah, on to the next one. So there's going to be 3 types of settlements to raid. You're going to find these homesteads or farms. You're going to find these military camps, and then you're going to find the monasteries, depending on the map. Now, essentially, the difficulty goes up as you go through these different settlements. The farms and homesteads are usually pretty easy to do. The military facilities will be split into a couple. You'll find these small camps that are not too bad to handle, and then you're going to find these really big castles or big kind of fortifications. And generally with the military fortifications, that is where you're going to find your gear or armor. It's going to be, that's where I've found virtually 100% of the gear so far in the larger military fortifications. And then the monastery, you're going to find things like the books of knowledge, and the river map clues are always going to be in the monasteries. At least the first two that I've done so far, that's been the case. So for these raids and for this game mode, you will not have your raven available at any point. So my suggestion is, as soon as you get to a settlement and frequent points during the raid, make sure you're using your vision pulse often. It will identify what you're looking for, where to run to, etc. And it's invaluable. Identify your enemies and where they are. Sometimes that can be hard when you're in fights to identify who's who if you haven't pulsed them. So make sure you're using your pulse often, and it will help you a lot. It'll help you show you where the treasures actually are hiding. So you can check in on your crew at any time how their health is going by simply hitting the down arrow on the D-pad, and it gives you this little screen. Tell you a few things. It'll tell you all the health of your Vikings, and it will also tell you what level your raid status is at. And when it's fully over to the right there, that's when it's going to be at its most difficult. So during your raiding, you're going to come across buildings that have got barred doors. Here we are at Twyenam Farm. You see that door is barred. That door is barred. So how do you get in? I'll just show you how to get into most of these. There is always a way to get in, and you can see there's a little gap in the roof there. Jump up here. This can be a little bit tricky. I suggest you wait for a second, like this, and then push to move forward, and then you're in. And this is definitely worth doing in the settlements. You'll also find, as you're going around, keys for chests. Make sure you pick those up, because they are also worth the rewards. So finally, we are going to show you how to end the raid, and then, because you've stuck around this long, I'll show you where both maps are on the first two maps. So, to end the raid, essentially you need to be back at your boat, and you have to take command of that boat before this will work. Then what you need to do is press down on the D-pad, select the little hat icon, and then release the D-pad, and that will finish the raid, and you can go back to Ravensthorpe. So for the Severn map, you need to come to the Northern Monastery. There is two monasteries. There is the Island Monastery and the Northern Monastery. You need to come to the second one, and it will be located in the main church building, the main church. So clear out the enemies first, and you can see these guys are being very cooperative and standing in front of my bow. Clean out the enemies. So once you've cleared out this, you'll see there's a big chest there, a big foreign objects chest. You're going to need to unlock the door. Make sure you get rid of this guy too. I don't know what he was shooting at. So unlock that door there. Unlock that door there. Revive any Vikings that you need to, because they're going to need to get you to open this chest. You know, I need to do this in this order, but there's the foreign supplies there, beautiful. And I think we've maxed them out. Look, everything in there. And what you need to do then is come to a door to your right here. This door here, and fire your arrow at the barred door on there. There you go. Now you'll find the Northern Monastery right at the top, right of the map, kind of northeast corner. Run round, and your river map or clue is going to be on the table there. Okay, so on to the second monastery in the River XE map. So you're looking for Easter Monastery. I will put the name up on the screen so you can see how that's spelled. It's in the western side of the map, about midway up, and you're basically looking for the second building with the red door. Make sure that you kill everybody outside, clear out everything, and you'll need somebody to help you with the door. In you go and kill. There should always be about 2 people in here. The big boy takes a bit of taking down here, so luckily I've brought some help and he demolishes my team, but we get enough on him. Chuck some axes at him, we get enough on him to get rid of him. He's certainly got a heck of a lot of health. Yeah, have a seat, sir. Revive any Vikings that need reviving. And you'll see the map is on the table there. Pick it up and then take it back to your friend in Ravensthorpe, and he'll give you another set of raids to do. So guys, that's it. Thank you for sticking with it. I hope this is useful. I hope you're going to enjoy this raid mode on Assassin's Creed. Props to Ubisoft for being so bold to put something different into Assassin's Creed, and I think they've done it extremely well. And it is a little bit of fun. It takes you away from the main storyline for a little bit and just lets you relax and do some pillaging. So guys, if you aren't subscribed to the channel yet, consider subscribing. We've got lots and lots of game guides for Assassin's Creed Valhalla rolling out in the next few weeks. A like rating's always appreciated. It really does help the channel get recognised, and we are pushing to 1,000 subs. We're not too far now. We're about 7 or 8 at the time of recording, and always love hearing your comments, how you're finding the raids, if there's any tips that you can also share that you've found during these, and we will catch you next time on Gaming for XP. See ya!